This week on the StressLess Camping RV podcast,
we ring in the new year with guests that will help one of the most popular resolutions
to get into better shape.
Jake and Sarah have balanced travel with healthy living and share some ways that you can feel fitter too.
We have this week's podcast along with the notes and all the stories that go with this episode, plus discounts, deals, helpful tips, and more at our home on the web at StressLessCamping.com.
We really appreciate your likes and your shares. Thank you for joining us at the first podcast of 2026, episode number 340.
StressLess Camping. I'm Tony.
I'm Peggy.
We're two RV industry veterans who travel part-time
in a Rockwood Mini Light,
looking to share big adventures and help you with great tips,
tricks,
and discounts.
I feel like we should keep doing this throughout the whole thing. But I don't think I can.
I know. Wait, put money where your mouth is.
Yee.
Hammer was exercising my mouth. Oh, boy.
As we start as we start this new year of 2026, a lot of people have asked us how they can support us. And we tell you every week, liking and sharing is very helpful, but we thought we'd kind of run down some, I guess, more tangible ways if you really feel the need to do so.
So looking at StressLessCamping.com and also a lot of other websites in general, especially RV websites, something I've really noticed that troubles me are all the pop-up ads and little video ads and annoying ads for stuff that sometimes you don't want, and a lot of times is a little offensive. We said that's it. So we literally eliminated all the ads that we didn't source on StressLessCamping.com. Now, the good side of that is, theoretically, it loads faster and doesn't have all these annoying ads.
And you don't have to see pop-ups, and you don't have to see ads that don't seem relevant, no matter how much we tell Google, right? That's where they were coming from to make the ads relevant. They just weren't.
Yeah, we would specify categories and styles of ads in the provider, and it worked great at first, and then they would change and update, and it would be, oh gosh, we got to go back again. So finally we said enough of that. Yeah. We got rid of all those ads, which, it's a big income hit.
Sure.
But what we did is we created our own ad server, and the only ads that should appear on StressLess Camping right now, unless we've forgotten to take something out, but let us know if you find that.
Yes, please.
Are ads for companies that we have bought stuff from and that we like, or that we really feel do a good job. So we're not going to put ads for stuff to make you skinnier or more beautiful, or improve your ability to rock and roll all night, if you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean.
But there are ads for products and services that we use ourselves. And so if you would like to support StressLess Camping, the way to do so is if you see an ad for something and it's like, hey, I've been thinking about that.
Use
click on
link.
it. Yeah, use it. And a lot of times they're tied to discounts, which is another good thing. Also, if you want to help support StressLess Camping, you can share, like, let's say somebody asks a question on social media, which they do all the time. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of the blog posts that we've written there are written in answer to those questions. So if you look for, water
hoses.
Water hoses. And you share that blog post, that really helps a lot, but also helps other people find StressLess Camping. So it's really, other than a few moments of your time to find those posts, it's really a huge help to us in keeping this whole little adventure alive when you share these blog posts and stories. And we have a whole series of collections like towing. When you see people ask about towing, gosh, please share that. It's really good information. Or you see people who are like, oh, I'm a new RVer. What do I do? Well, we have a whole collection for that.
Yeah.
Or how do you find internet on the road? there's a collection for that. And they're all right there on the homepage of StressLess Camping to make it easy. So anyway, that's our pitch to you is if you like what you see and you want to help this little venture thrive, that's all you have to do is just share. It's easy, breezy, and lemon squeezy.
Yeah. Speaking of easy and breezy,
yes.
We are getting ready to go to Quartzsite, Arizona.
Oh, yes.
Because we went on such a long trip in August and September, when we came home from that trip, we had so much stuff we had accumulated over those couple of months that just didn't really belong in the RV. And so we took everything out. So now, in the next week, we've got to get everything back in there. Hopefully,
all the relevant stuff.
Hopefully, I've stayed organized enough. I know where, there's a box here and there's a box there of things that need to go back in the trailer. And so we are packing. And one of the, things that makes that easier to do, because it's cold outside, right? For most of you, it's cold outside.
Well, it's been odd because it's cold overnight, like really cold.
Yeah.
Last night it was in the 20s. And then in the day, it's like in the 70s.
Well, no, in the 50s, 60s maybe. It hasn't been in the 70s.
Okay.
But it feels terrific because the sun is shining and it's bright and sunny, and as long as the wind doesn't blow. But anyway, my point was running back and forth from the nice toasty warm house to the cold RV would be awful. And so we are keeping the RV almost road ready. It's winterized, so there's no water or anything, but we're keeping the heater on, we're keeping the refrigerator going so we can start packing that. And we can do all that because we've got the power.
Yeah, our solar and lithium package from ABC Upfitters, who is one of the companies who has consistently supported us for several years now, it just has been remarkably great. It just works, right? We don't think about, we go out there and like, oh, blah, blah, blah. No, we go out to the trailer and it's ready. And we had house guests the other day. And it's like, well, we have the option of they could stay in the trailer too. So it's just a good system that works. You think of off-grid systems, power and solar and lithium systems for just, I'm going boondocking. But they can be a great backup at home. You have your RV fridge running, all of that stuff. So it's more than just those times a year where you're off-grid camping. There's a lot of reasons solar and lithium system from ABC Upfitters is a great investment. And they make systems customized to however you go camping or use your RV. So don't think it's one solution fits all. They have a lot of choices.
Right. I mean, you don't have to be off-grid all the time like some of our friends, but having this option is, helpful for getting packed up for a trip, or helpful for a long trip where you might spend one night off the grid. Or it's even helpful if all you ever do is hook up, because in between trips, you're still able to get in there and take care of things.
Yep. So anyway, if you would like that kind of system with that kind of flexibility and quality, our friends at ABC Upfitters are waiting to hear from you at 574-333-3225.
That's 574-333-3225. Or you can check out the page on the website, and that's one of those things that you can share when someone asks about solar and lithium.
What do you know?
I got to put this down. Well, no, I think for this upcoming segment, maybe I better hold on to it. A lot of people have the New Year's resolution to get more fit, right?
They've got fitness on their mind.
To get into better shape. And so with that in mind, we asked Jake and Sarah from Active RV Life to come and talk about their program, their website, and a little bit of, some tips for starting doing, one step at a time, so to speak, of getting a little bit more in shape in 2026. So let's talk to Jake and Sarah.
Well, we have the privilege of having Jake and Sarah with us from Active RV Life. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Tell us, first of all, about yourselves, because we were looking at your website, activervlife.com, and you both have some very impressive credentials.
Yeah.
So my background's been in corporate America, but I have a passion for health and fitness. And actually, Sarah and I, when we first started dating, we did a Tough Mudder together. So that's kind of like an obstacle course race. It's 10 miles or so, and so we just both have a passion for it. And Sarah has been, you want to explain your crazy fitness background?
Yeah, I've been in sports my whole entire life. I played basketball in college. So once I actually was an injured kid back in high school and college, and I got really fascinated with the small odds and ends that in basketball, I only had to be strong and quick. And I know in fitness, there's so much more elements to that. And especially being an adult in fitness, clearly it's so much different. So I kind of incorporated the mindset of things because I'm also a mental performance coach as well. So I connect the mindset with the fitness. And of course, there's all that nutrition as well. So I definitely tap into that.
Nice.
Very cool. And then you are both, well, you're full-time RVers. So how did that come about?
Well, we weren't really planning on it at all, actually. We might have talked about it once with somebody like, yeah, RVing is cool, back in like 2018, 2019. And then when the pandemic hit, we're sitting at home, both working remote, and we're like, why are we sitting in it was my hometown, and he was only an hour and a half from his hometown. Why are we in the same spot that we grew up in and not exploring more? Because we would go on flights every so often to places, but then Jake's like, what about RVing? And I scratched my head about it. I'm like, I don't know about this, honestly. And then we went to an RV show and we stepped in some rigs. I'm like, these can be livable nowadays, you know what I mean? So the pandemic kind of allowed us to do it, but we also wanted to be more intentional. We realized we were watching so much TV in our homes, like right after work, and we just started to become couch potatoes. And then we were just getting into this routine of doing the same things over and over again. So we really wanted just to have more adventure in our lives as well.
Nice.
Sounds good.
It was very fortunate that my one of our family friends, they full-time RV'd for 3.5 years. And so as this was going on, the pandemic, we're watching YouTube, we're going to like Sarah was saying, we went to the RV show. They're like, well, if you guys are going to do it, this is what you need. Here's the mindset. Here's, some challenges that you need to be prepared for. And so we just had checklists on checklists, and that kind of helped prep us for the lifestyle.
You had your own private tutors.
We did.
Yeah, we really needed that.
That's good because it can be very different. But you hadn't been RVing before. Did you get a chance to try anything out, or just we bought an RV and off we go?
We bought an RV and off we went. So did a bunch of research. We bought a Grand Design Solitude, and it was a year old, so we didn't take that depreciation, so that was good. But it was very cool. So we met a gentleman down in Arkansas, 9 hours away from Pennsylvania. We had an RV inspector come out and check it out first, and everything was good. And then that guy actually spent another 4 to 5 hours showing us how to use the slides and jacks. And
he was amazing.
He, even to this day, he still reaches out and says, "Hey, how's it going?" And it's been 4 years since.
That's a great experience because we hear every aspect of I bought an RV and now I'm full-timing, from this is the best thing we ever did to I'm going to find a cliff and drive the thing off it.
We've definitely had some moments like that. Sure. Just trying to get to Montana, our truck ended up not working after a while. If you want details, ask him. I just know that the engine wasn't working and stuff. And then we finally were stuck in Idaho for a while, and then we ended up getting a flat tire because we ran over a ratchet strap on our way out there. Oh. So sometimes RV life isn't as easy as what you think it is, but we're kind of happy that we kind of threw ourselves into it, because if we did, he did a lot of research online, but we never physically did this. So doing online research versus the physical side of things was very different. But if we didn't throw ourselves into it, I don't know if slowly going into it, if honestly, me would be all about it. I know he's a tough cookie on my end. I'm like, I don't know about this. Let's be a little cautious about that. But he's really helping me open up on that aspect of things.
That's good. I don't know why we know so many people who have had major truck issues in Montana. Like what? That's just, you're literally like the third or fourth person we know of who, like one person we know was stuck on the side of the road for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We would have been there too, but we were lucky. And there was an RV park in Iowa when we broke down that was like pretty close. And then same thing with, the flat tire. We were like right next to a town that we were able to kind of put the spare on and then
put on the flashers, went 35 miles per hour just to get a little bit farther so we could get off the road. But changing the tire on a main highway, that was like, you felt every single car pass you, and they couldn't really get over. It was only a 2-lane highway, so it's like, it is what it is at that point.
I wonder if it's because of the trip, like the length of it. So like if you're going from the East Coast to Montana, like that's far, and that's a lot of wear and tear on the truck, a lot of, like I said, a lot of wear and tear both on the truck and the RV itself.
And Montana's a pretty good big size state.
Yeah, that's true. And some people are just going like it's as if there is no speed limit. So
right, and that's you're putting the high RPMs and a lot of stress on a lot of on the truck, and you just gotta embrace the lifestyle and smile and just take your time. Can't be in a hurry to get anywhere.
Right.
So we're not here to talk about RV troubles or anything like that. What we are here to talk about is your business, Active RV Life, and you have managed to take living a healthier lifestyle and incorporate that with travel, which a lot of people like us find difficult.
Well, we do too. And so we actually were at the Grand Design Las Vegas rally. And to prep for that, we were printing out the, flyers, we're getting exercise mats made up, apparel, this was the first like RV rally that we've been to. And Sarah and I were talking, we're like, it's been 2 weeks. We own an RV fitness company and we haven't even worked out ourselves, so it's the whole RV lifestyle and traveling and the unexpected, breaking down and the unexpected challenges. It definitely, it's hard, to get into a routine sometimes. And, we're going to talk about it, how to prepare for that. But it can be a challenge here and there,
Yeah.
And so you've been able to adapt the travel life with an active sort of a routine or plan for living a healthier life. And that is what you share with other people.
Absolutely. When we started this I think officially we finally were full-time by 2021 after selling the house and fully moving into the rig and stuff like that. We both were, I was a main gym goer, and you were kind of 50-50. You went in the gym, you also did a lot of workouts outside.
Hiking and stuff like that.
So when we got the RV, I struggled a lot with not having a gym close by all the time. We were in a small town in Vermont that I really like CrossFit kind of workouts. I was looking for CrossFit gyms, nothing really existed. Plus, it's really hard to just do random drop-ins. Usually these CrossFit memberships, you have to pay like $150 a month. And if we're coming and going, we aren't members, so they jack up the price even higher. So now we're paying probably double the price because we're not full-time members. So we're like, why are we trying to go inside a gym on a regular basis when we're RVing in these cool, amazing places? So we kind of stopped going to the gym as much because clearly it was a lot more difficult than we expected, and we were utilizing the outdoor side of things more often because I'm like, we're in an area where there's this cool trail right across from the RV park. Why am I not doing that? And then we do have some weights that we do carry in our RV, so if we want to get a lift in or anything like that, we can still do that. But that was one of the hard things we were adapting to in the beginning. Now we don't even bat an eye. It's like, okay, our whole entire place where we park is our jungle gym. You know what I mean? Regardless if it's a paved trail, a mountain that's like so inclined that you just like, man, do I really want to do that? But we utilize our environment to our best advantage. So it might not be our favorite workout, but movement is medicine in our minds. So we just become more intentional with what we're doing, even though it might not be exactly what we want to do all the time, but we still get to go mountain bike. We still get to go hike. If we want to go to a gym, we still have the opportunity to do that as well. But we really want to try to make it easier because clearly you want to utilize your RV spot in the places you park. So we try to adapt that as much as possible without having to pay extra money to other facilities and gyms and things like that.
Yeah, and it wasn't just about the money either. As you guys know, like just the whole chaotic life of traveling and planning and tearing down and setting up, and you think, hey, I'm going to get to this camp spot, and well, something happens and you don't, and it's like it's how do we kind of embrace that RV lifestyle with fitness and health. And so, okay, how can we, get to an RV park or get to an area and be able to walk around and meet people and also have like little workout routines and stuff that we could stay healthy and active, but don't have to rely on a gym. So that was something with it too. But another huge thing is like with a normal brick and mortar gym, you have a community aspect there. Mm-hmm. And so if, you have the camaraderie, you see people every single day and you're like, hey, I saw you missed Wednesday's workout. Where were you? And they help keep you accountable. Or it's like, hey, let's go on a hike together. Let's go do XYZ together. You have that support system. When we're out on the road, and I'm sure you guys know, it's you have these virtual connections and you see folks at rallies and here and there, but you don't have that day in and day out support system that you have. So that was something else that we were trying to do, is to build this community of like-minded people. And it's not about hardcore workouts or trying to get personal records. It's literally about just showing up, keeping that healthy, active mindset. It's trying to be, don't have fitness be stressful, because that can be overwhelming and stuff for sure. So it's just how can we embrace this and incorporate health and fitness into our RV travels.
And so I guess at first it became a challenge, and now you're helping other people to accomplish what you've learned, especially with your backgrounds.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things, because as you know, kind of like we were talking about the community side of things, we meet maybe our best friends in a park, but then, oh, okay, I'm only going to be here for 4 or 5 days. How can I stay connected with you and maybe us do activities like that together? So like we met some people that love mountain biking, and we were able to stay connected with them. And how can you stay fit for mountain biking when you're not able to mountain bike? Because we have met some people, actually a ton of people, honestly, that are working remote now through their rigs and stuff like that. So they're trying to incorporate their life, their career life with their personal life, but also having a community to like motivate them as well. So yeah, we're teaching people how to be able to do both, figure out what's out in the areas that they park, but also have a community that they can go fishing together. Maybe you like hiking with your dog, so you find a community that also likes hiking with their dogs, or paddleboarding, anything along like those lines. We try to make it so easy, adaptable, and aware that, hey, there's endless possibilities. Just kind of have to plan for it, honestly. That's the hardest part about it.
Yeah, and then a couple personal stories, like as we were, RVing and we're working out, and sometimes when we're working out in front of the RV, we have people that come in like, hey, we've never seen that or never thought of that before. How did you guys come up with that? So that kind of sparked the idea of helping, teach people about health and fitness on the road. But as we were going through this journey, like doing some research and stuff, like the reason why we wanted to be RVers was just to get out and be active. And KOA's published some studies. There's some other studies out there, but like the majority of people that want to RV, they want to go and see the country. They want to be active. They want to go hiking and see all the cool things that this country has to offer. And sometimes they have this, folks have this like dream of what that RV life is going to look like. And so they're grinding away at work. They're kind of putting their health, on the back end, and they're focusing on their family, their faith, and focusing on, their work, and your health starts to deteriorate. And so you get out, you get the RV, and you're not able to do the things that you dreamed of doing. And we had some family that came down to visit us in St. Augustine, Florida, and we're walking around, we're seeing the fort. There's, St. Augustine's the oldest city in America, so there's a lot of rich history down there. And we get to the lighthouse, and they weren't able to climb the stairs of the lighthouse. And so it's like, again, you're there, you're experiencing it, but there's, you're not doing some of the things that you dreamed of doing. And so we're trying to help, to get people moving, to help make those like small little 1% improvements that you can do each day, and that way that whenever you're out in the country, and if you want to go on a hike or you want to go do something, we're able to do that.
So a lot of your kind of training other people is I guess online and stuff, but you do sometimes, you have visitors, or you run into someone at a campground and get to kind of do sort of a one-on-one training, but you don't like have rallies or in-person kind of events so much as you do online training.
That's in the future. So
Okay.
we want to get a community. Whether we partner at a campground or some of these other wellness facilities, like we want to do some sort of like retreats in the future. I think it'd be really cool to get out and just, hey, we're going to teach you some, different workout routines and strategies. We're going to barbecue later. We're going to have a healthy alternative for food and stuff like that. That'll definitely be in the future, but for right now, it's mainly that online platform where you log in, you pick your fitness level if you want to, you're brand new, or there's 55 plus specific workouts, or if you're someone like Sarah that's wild and crazy, we have that too, and you kind of follow along with us, so we're hey, here's the type of equipment you need. If you don't have that, because of the RV lifestyle and the limited space and what you can carry, let's use a gallon water jug. A gallon water jug is 8 pounds. And incorporate some of that, different, you got to be creative with some of the workout routines and to keep it fresh. Also, because if you do the same thing over and over again, it gets kind of boring a little bit. Mm-hmm. But you just follow along with us on the platform, you work out, you can log in your results if you want. If not, totally cool. But it's all about the consistency and showing up. And there's a streak that you'll see when you log in that helps again with the accountability and you can help support each other. You can meet like-minded people on the platform. And
something I hadn't before talking to you really thought about is the community aspect of going to a gym. So you've also sort of created that within your ecosystem as well, the community aspect.
That's the main thing, because of course there's some people that can grind alone and be totally motivated doing whatever fitness activity it is, but most people want others to do it with them, you know what I mean? And that's why RVing in the beginning was a little challenging for us, because we didn't really have a community other than that one friend that helped us with our RV, but they traditionally stay in Florida, where we wanted to explore way past just that one state. So yeah, we're trying to find an area where essentially our online platform is kind of like the maintenance, you're getting a nice hard workout in, or you're just kind of moving your body so you can go do those adventures. So yeah, you can do the fitness platform with company, and if you like that more lifting weights and doing cardio in front of your RV, jumping jacks, jump rope, high speed push-ups, things like that, But on the outside of those things, most people do want just a community to go mountain biking or hiking, or we talked, like I brought up fishing and hiking with your dog because we met a couple, like they both had such different interests, but the girl did not want to go hiking by herself because being in new areas, it can be scary, like especially in grizzly areas or like high mountain lions or possibly even homeless. Like I know that when I started doing outdoor activities, I did not like doing them alone. It was a little terrifying. So that also is a more of a safety community as well. But then also, it wouldn't be so cool to like get a whole park of just like a bunch of people, like 80% of the park is like people that like to do the same exact activity as you. That's what we're also trying to bring with this, because RVing can be lonely and most of our community is online. That's kind of where we want to start. But we do want to make this more of something that we can do in person, where it's like, hey, we know this one area, like we're not far from Angel's Landing in Zion right now. That's a permit type of like hike. I know those are things that somebody has on their bucket list. Can we do that together? And let's kind of go to each national park and do a nice cool hike in all those areas. And that's how we can create a community as well. So yeah, it's more than just staying active in front of your RV. We're trying to find community that we can go do activities outside of it as well.
Can you talk some about, is there a nutrition factor in your program, in your website? Or is it just like, hey, don't be dumb and eat donuts every day?
Nutrition's about 80% of it. We actually have a whole nutrition course. And so it's geared towards more general just health and active lifestyle. So if you have like specific dietary, requirements, or if someone that has like diabetes or another medical condition, you definitely want to talk to your doctor. But it's more of, here's some wholesome general foods, here's a nutrition list, here's a way to, if you want to track your calories and track your macros, which is your protein, carbs, and fats, and depending on your body type and your activity level, there's ways to make it simple, because that's what, simplicity is the best thing. You can go down that route. There's also a module on if you're, doing competitions and things like that, but that's just one module. That's not the whole base of the course. And there's also tips and tricks on how to incorporate that, nutrition into the RV travels itself. So, making sure we prep, meals ahead of time before we, go on those long travel days. So we don't stop at stop at Buc-ee's and, hey, those brisket sandwiches are really good.
Yeah.
But is there something that we have in the fridge that we actually enjoy, because you don't want to just have this perfect plan on paper that's chicken, broccoli, and rice, and you're like, after 4 days of eating it, you're like, I can't eat this anymore. Like, that's not sustainable. You got to have fun with it. You got to be intentional.
Yeah. And with the intention too, like, we understand most of these states have a certain food that they present. Like, we know in Idaho, the potatoes, up in Montana, the huckleberries were like really big, and like Savannah, Georgia, the peaches and stuff like that. So we understand, from Pennsylvania, pierogies are massive out there. So anyways, why I'm saying this is, like, you heard some good foods, you heard some bad foods. The point is, when you're traveling to these places, go enjoy the best of the best in those states. But what Jake's saying is, pack the food to be intentional. So when you do go want to have your, I guess you can call it a cheat meal, or you want to go enjoy that one special food in that state, it's not going to derail all of your goals because you did so well being able to pack your food during the travel days. Or we know Zion National Park does not have anything. You get in and like you basically have to fend for yourself until you get back out of the park. And then of course, everything in that Springdale little community, you want to just eat something as fast as possible because you're starving. So that's kind of what we're trying to incorporate is, of course, you want to pack your food to make sure you're not always eating something from a gas station or something really greasy, but also the point where enjoy that awesome food from that state so you don't feel like guilty because you just been eating crummy for your whole entire travel week or however long you've been in the RV traveling to whatever park you're trying to park at. I don't know why I'm rambling now.
That's all right.
No, you're fine. It's
Yeah.
and every time you say gas station food, I think of Love's and those roller foods. I always
Yep.
think of like, and I see all the truck drivers going, and getting those, and I'm thinking, there's half of me who's like, oh my gosh, it's so bad, and the other half is like 2 for $5.
I know.
Yeah, and it's convenient, or
Yeah.
or RVs or Wendy's or whatever they have in the travel stops.
Yeah.
It's
And we
like,
can
just
keep
grab it and
driving
go.
while we eat.
We should invent an RV roller food thing. So you just go get, like you go back in your RV but it's healthy things on like rollers, not.
I think it's called a microwave.
We got one of those.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
But a lot of it, like Sarah was talking about it's mindset, and you have to think of this as a journey. And so, with the New Year's coming up, a lot of folks have health and fitness as a New Year's resolution. They just want to go, all in. This is what we're going to do, and they almost set themselves up for failure because you try to limit and restrict yourself so much, and it's not sustainable. And what you want to do is make those little 1% improvements each day, just to try to get a little bit better. Make one choice. Hey, I'm going to make one healthy choice today, and with that, like Sarah was talking about, being intentional. So go out. So we went to, when we were in Vegas, we wanted to go to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, get the beef Wellington, get all the fixings. She had a glass of wine, and it's just like, okay, well, we know that we have this date night planned. So a couple, leading up to it, let's try to be more mindful. Let's eat in, let's prepare, some more healthy foods. So that way, when we do go and have the date night, guilt-free, let's go all out, let's enjoy ourselves. Maybe not get 2 desserts. Like I'm a huge sweet guy, but maybe we'll split a dessert or something like that. But go have fun. Like that's the whole point of RVing, is to go travel, explore, and have fun. But also, kind of tying back to the New Year's resolution thing too, is if you do have a slip up, don't just like automatically derail and say, you know what, today's Wednesday, things happen, I had Burger King, and just like completely derail the rest of the week. Just smile, take a deep breath. All right, you know what, I'm gonna get back into it tomorrow, make those slight adjustments. And again, this is a lifestyle journey. It's not just like a fitness fad or a quick fix. This is gonna, you're looking at it in terms of like a decade, so to speak, is, these small little things that we're doing now, how's that going to look 10 years down the road?
And I think something that is unique about, I'm going to say y'all's approach to this is you also have a background in teaching the mind, not just the body. It's looking at your website, and the background you bring it seems very unique in that you're able to sort of look at both sides of mind and physique. I realize they're all one package, but not everybody does.
Sometimes you kind of compartmentalize it a little bit and don't realize it's this holistic, everything, your attitude and your mindset can definitely affect, how you feel and how you perform. And so what kind of challenges and I guess health and fitness related challenges and things that you guys experienced on the road?
Health and fitness challenges? No, it's
On the road.
breweries. Breweries are my downfall.
breweries
and friends.
And we're like, like you said, if you go to Pennsylvania, you need to eat a pierogi, right? You've got to do it. We do that entirely too often. Oh, if you're in Texas, you have to go to Buc-ee's. If you're here, you have to have these donuts. If you're there, you have to have, and because we travel, I mean, you do too, you're full time, but I think when you, as full timers, you probably don't race across the country as often as we do. So we are always like, we're in this state today and that state tomorrow. So today we're eating this junk food and tomorrow we're eating that junk food. And I think it's a mental thing for us. Like we say lazy, and I think that's not a bad way to do it. We're not good at planning. And then we do get into that rut of like, oh, well, we should just go eat these pierogies then again today because we didn't plan ahead.
It's hard.
And we're almost as bad at home. Like, even though we're here and we have great food in New Mexico. Yeah, we have to go try this food. But because our lives are so sedentary, we spend so much time sitting at a computer and we don't get out and get active. And then there's always like, oh, it's too cold, it's too hot, it's too windy, it's too whatever. We always have an excuse not to do anything.
Yeah, but it's been a lifetime of those decisions.
So we really need to start here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, something we've learned, not food wise, but for the first time we got to experience a summer in the desert. So being 105, 110, even almost 115 at some point. Now that it gets down to the 60s, we're over here like, oh, are we cold now? Because in Pennsylvania, we could probably be in a sweatshirt in the 30s, 40s still. So anyways, also RVing, because we get to be the best of the best, that kind of mindset of like, oh wow, it's cold. And I'm looking at my watch, I'm like, it's 70 degrees outside. Why am I pretending like it's cold out right now? So that's something too, because RVing, we get to do the best of the best. We accidentally forget tough times. RVing is tough. We know that. We know these things break down on us all the time. But environments, we get the best. Like I'm staring at palm trees right now, and it's December. We just went on a hiking trip and camped, and it's December. I would not imagine trying to do that when it's like almost negative 20 degrees, or not 20 degrees, but 10 degrees, super, super cold. So anyways, with that mindset we're talking about, getting back into doing difficult things. Okay, we understand our body does not like 50 degrees anymore, but if we just start moving around a little bit, you will start to warm up. And the hardest part is just getting out there and doing it. So I think that's one of the things, like you talked about, it's tough when we're traveling, but also tough at home too. Getting into that mindset of, hey, we have done tough things. We just haven't been doing them lately because RVing has been very magical. So what is something that we can do tough every so often? So like, for example, we were in the desert, like I said, during the summertime, and we just drove a little bit north to go in the cold, just be like, all right, we can deal with this. We know we can, but we purposely put ourselves in those environments just so we don't, quote unquote, I guess, get soft per se. I don't like that phrase, but at the same time, the older you get, the more that you're like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm not at that prime anymore. But at the same time, that's what keeps this mind sharp. Doing tough things really allows you to not get into that same routine, and also kind of prevents like dementia onset as well. Just doing the tough stuff that you traditionally that mind doesn't want to do. We're not fighters. We're trying to survive. So anything that we don't like to do, our mind's gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna go do this easier thing. But how can we thrive in this kind of environment? Not saying doing like hiking Mount Everest type of stuff, but like you said, maybe going for a walk when it's a little bit colder than what we expect. But hey, we don't have time to do it later. So let's just get the walk in now while it's cold, but you're gonna feel so much better after. I promise you, like if you just get the movement in, you're going to really appreciate that you did that, even though you might have not wanted to in the moment.
That's really a good point.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to be at Quartzsite this year, correct?
We are, yeah. Yeah, we're excited to meet you guys in person.
If what you're saying sounds good, which it does very much, what's the best way to follow along on your journey and benefit from your guidance?
I'd say check us out on, Active RV Life, on Facebook or Instagram.
We're on every social platform. So if Facebook's your thing, go follow us on Facebook, Instagram. I just got the TikTok, I'll call it. So if you like TikTok, we are promoting ourselves on those aspect of things for small little tips and tricks like that. But then if you are trying to find our platform, you can go to our website, which is activervlife.com. You can go into our portal and check out all of our different kind of fitness platforms, because once again, we know that RVing, not everybody has the same exact time frame as we do. So these videos, they can just pop them up at any time they desire. So it can be first thing in the morning, afternoon, as long as you have decent service per se. Like, that's one of the things we understand RVing, we don't always have service. So we're kind of trying to figure
out. We can download.
Oh, we can now? Yeah. Sweet. That's so I just realized that you can download it. So if you aren't in an area where you have service, you can always download it prior, just kind of like what you do on a plane. If you want to download like a movie before you are on a plane, you can do the same thing here. So that's how the best way to follow us on the socials. And then if you really are interested in the portal, go check out the website and you can go find it there.
And you don't have to just be RVing to use the portal either. So a lot of this stuff, some of it has equipment. There's stuff that doesn't have any equipment. You don't need, you can just, use body weight exercises. You can certainly do this at the home. Or even like, folks that travel a lot for work, flying to hotel, a lot of the stuff we use, it's something you'll find in a hotel gym, know, or even you can do the body weight stuff in the hotel, room also.
Yeah. If you like minimum equipment in small spaces and you might have limited time, this kind of program is phenomenal for you. You can find a workout that's 12 minutes, you can get an hour workout, but it should be to the point where, yes, if you were targeting RVers, but if you have limited space, or if you're not a full-timer, being able to still stay on this program when you're at your house, and then when you start RVing, staying consistent with it. Because I think that's the hardest part. A lot of people, I heard they have like their home thing, but then when they RV, they don't know what to do. This is an awesome opportunity to be on the same program in your home, and then also when you're RVing, so you don't have to, okay, what am I going to start now that I'm in quote unquote like RV mode? That's
a really good point, because that is, I'll get really consistent with yoga or something, and then we get in the RV, and then there is room in our RV for a yoga mat, but that's still my excuse, like, oh, I'm going to get into the RV.
Yeah. With the yoga in an RV, we all know how just a little bit of movement makes the RV shake a bit. So I always say, doing yoga in the RV or doing anything balanced, you don't even have to put something under you. You can just literally go on one single leg or close your eyes, and the RV is your little balance trick right there.
Hey, you could try it with the stabilizers up, and then it's really a test of balance.
When you really think you're getting good, have the other person walk up and down the RV,
start having another person jump or something. Oh man.
Or you could put a glass of water on the counter and just see how much it shakes as you're doing whatever you're doing.
When I fall over from my toes.
Right.
Oh man. Well, we're sure looking forward to meeting you in Quartzsite. Yes. And again, activervlife.com is a great place to start. And you, as you said, you're in all the places people like being social. So, Jake and Sarah, it's been a real pleasure getting to know a little bit more about you and how you can help us.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really great to meet you guys. And again, it's all about consistency, not perfection. We want to make sure that fitness is something that you enjoy, and make it simple, have fun with it, embrace this whole RV travel lifestyle with it. And you had a really good a tip, like whenever you do go to an RV park.
Yeah, so one thing, because we know that RVing can be challenging, and you, as your StressLess Camping podcast is all about being, making things easier. So I wanted to give like a quick little workout for somebody to be a little bit more intentional once they're RVing. Would you guys be into hearing that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So as we know, once you get to an RV spot, like you probably don't want to be doing too much, but I'm sure you're stiff from driving, sitting in the car for long periods of time. So how can you get a decent workout in without like sitting and setting like 10 to 15 minutes of extra time from your setup? So something that I was thinking about, if you've never been to this like an RV park, this specific RV park that you parked at, while you're checking it out, go for a walk. And you can either do like every 50 steps, you can do a distance, whatever works best for you. I have this lovely watch that lets me know how far I go. So I can check if I went like 50 meters to 100 meters. If you don't have a watch, you can kind of count your steps, or like, hey, by the time I get to this RV, I'm going to do 10 air squats. So basically, while you're checking out the RV, going for an intentional walk, maybe not a crazy slow pace. I would say maybe do your nice little mall walking kind of speed, but then pick a distance. And when you get to that distance, do a couple air squats. So 10 to 20, depending on your level. And then once you're walking around the other spot, if you find that some of these RVs have ledges, so our RV park has a ledge because it's concrete and then it's gravel. If you want to do some step ups on that ledge, you can do a little bit movement from there. And then if you really, really are okay with going down on the ground, you can always do some push-ups. If you don't want to get onto the ground, we have some fences that you can do push-ups more at that like angle, so you're not getting fully on the ground.
Or even on a picnic table.
Picnic table.
Top of the picnic table makes it a little bit easier.
On your car, truck, anything that you have around you. So basically what you can do as you're checking the RV park, just set a distance, do some air squats, about 10 to 20, then go a little bit farther, then do some step ups if you have a ledge, go a little farther, do some push-ups, and then just repeat that process until you've checked out the whole RV park. Now you've gotten a nice little workout in, you were intentional, and you now get to see how the RV park is laid out. In if they have like amenities, like our park that we're at has a pool right now. I know there's no gym equipment, so I know, hey, I can go for a swim and maybe get some like laps in if it's big enough, maybe some like water treading. If they have maybe some lifting equipment, maybe I can go in there and use their bands or something if you don't have bands in your RV just yet. And it's able to make you aware of like your RV park, but then now you got a workout in and you don't have to worry about it for the rest of your day, and you can relax in your new spot.
Well, that's
great.
a great tip.
Yeah,
And I will say 5 years ago, I never saw anybody doing anything close to that. Now, I would say that it's not uncommon to see people walking around, incorporating aspects of fitness into their walk. I'd say I see that a lot at RV parks now. So you wouldn't even have to feel intimidated about doing it.
I see somebody in our park right now, she puts a weighted vest on while she's drinking her coffee. She basically walks around until her coffee's done, and I can tell this weather's cold for her because she's putting a beanie on, she has her puffer on, but she's out there doing it every single day. So once again, just being intentional, feeling the crisp air, checking out the RV park. Who knows? There could be somebody new in the RV park too that you want to go say hi to, and now there might be your new best friend. That's something we've noticed. If we don't walk around our RV park, we don't make friends. When we walk around our RV park, we meet people more often than less. We have a dog, so of course we get to meet a lot of people with other dogs because their dog has to meet our dog. And then outside of that, seeing other people work out in front of their RVs too. Hey, let's hang out. You seem like you have the same kind of mindset as us. Or if we're working out in front of our RV, somebody asking us those questions, hey, what are you doing here? Let's be friends. So anyways, it's supposed to be not just a workout. Of course, we're also incorporating the community in that kind of workout as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, RVers are friendly folk.
Yes, very friendly. Anytime I'm walking the dog, I'm at least having one conversation. I know that.
Well, more often than not, I know people's dogs' names more than their names.
We do the same thing. We don't know why.
I think it's universal.
Yeah, there's this couple that we keep saying hi to them And the reason why I remember their dog's name is because they named their dog Dan. So I just think that's so funny. I've never heard a dog named Dan. So I'm like, oh, that's Dan's parents. Like that. I can't remember their names worth my life. I don't know why, but I know the dog's name is Dan.
I think that's pretty common, actually.
It is.
Oh, man. Well, we're sure looking forward to meeting you in person in Quartzsite and sharing this with our audience. And thank you so much for the time and what you've put together for people.
Yeah, I really look forward to checking out the website because this sounds like something I would actually do.
We can't wait to meet you guys in Quartzsite as well. And also, we can show you the platform a little bit when we get to meet in person. We're excited about that.
Sounds good. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Well, you feeling fine? You planning to look better and be healthier and all of that? Let's see.
This is hard to segue with.
It really is with these weights. Talk about a dumbbell. That's kind of me.
No.
But anyway. Yeah, there's no AI here. There's barely any I here. One of the companies that have stepped up to support StressLess Camping is our favorite holding tank treatment.
We discovered Liquified after our friend Josh tested the main tank treatments on the market. For him, Liquified came out on top when it comes to treating what comes out of your bottom.
Yeah, they're number one when it comes to number two. But seriously, we have a discount to Liquified, and the product really has worked very well for us.
So if you're looking to give thanks for a better RV treatment experience, Liquified is our top choice.
Yeah, as Matt says, think of Liquified when you poop.
Well, it's been a little while, but I do have a recipe this week. I know it's very sporadic. You never know if it's going to be there or not. This week, I made stacked enchiladas, and I want to explain that stacked enchiladas are kind of a New Mexico thing. Everybody pretty much knows what an enchilada is. And if you know what it is, it's kind of a hassle to make because you have to have those little tortillas and you got to roll them up and you got to keep them rolled up so that they don't pop open while you bake them. Stacked enchiladas are really a good answer to that. It's the signature dish of New Mexico. And they make their enchiladas. They make traditional ones if you prefer, but they make them kind of lasagna-like, where the tortilla is like in place of the noodle layer, and you put traditional enchilada kind of ingredients. So I made them with corn tortillas and some hamburger meat and Oaxaca cheese, which is a Mexican.
Like a melting cheese.
Yeah, it's very melty and it's almost string cheese-ish.
Yeah, it's like mozzarella to
but
me.
It's
it's
very
mozzarella.
It's very melty. And the reason that we had the idea of doing this was Tony had bought from the holiday market that we told you about.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Some is it Tio Joe's?
Oh boy, I don't remember now. It's in the recipe.
It's in the recipe.
And
the salsa or enchilada sauce that we bought, it can be used as salsa, but it can also be used as enchilada sauce. And did it make some terrific enchiladas.
Oh, it was so good. I bought this at that Albuquerque, the Rail Yards Farmers Market. But this guy ships, and it was the best enchilada sauce I've ever had.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing that New Mexico does is put a fried egg on top of their enchiladas. Now, that doesn't mean it has to be for breakfast, but I made these for breakfast one day. They could be served and eaten any old time. Also, if you look at the recipe and you see my pictures, I did ours kind of in individual baking dishes. You could also make this in a big dish and then cut it into pieces like a regular lasagna sort of dish.
Yeah. You know what was missing?
What?
Green chilies.
Well, there was green chilies seasoning.
Oh, yeah. I put that in the hamburger.
But the enchilada sauce, I think, kind of took over that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just being a New Mexico snob.
So maybe we'll try getting his green salsa and make green chili and chicken green enchiladas.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, we appreciate that you all have been participating in our Stressless Campers Facebook group. We haven't been, again, very consistent with our question of the week, but I did ask you to post pictures of Christmas camping. And if you posted or shared with me, I hope that you saw your picture in our Christmas episode last week. That was kind of last week's question of the week, so to speak. This week, our question is kind of a two-part. Do you make a New Year's resolution? A lot of people don't, because they realize they just
a week
don't
later they're
keep
like
them, right? So instead, how about asking it this way? What is your biggest goal for 2026?
Yep, and you can answer that in our fun and friendly Stressless Campers Facebook group. Also, did you know we do a once a week newsletter that's absolutely free with links to the stories, videos, and podcasts that will help you get the most out of your Stressless camping experience?
Just visit our website and sign up, and know that we do not share your information. We just use that information to send you once a week a newsletter that tells you about the podcast being out and anything else that we found out in the world.
And of course, you'll find the show notes for this episode 340, on the podcast page at StressLessCamping.com.
That's also where you can find our favorite RV products and services page for all those things that might be advertising and might be deals and discounts and might be important things that you need for your stressless camping adventure.
Of course, we are in all the social places, and you can start at StressLessCamping.com, and there's links there to all the places we're all honestly wasting time.
If you are an audio podcast listener and you don't want to miss a future episode of the podcast, don't forget that it's free to subscribe on any podcast app, and we are saving you a seat around our virtual workbench.
And if you're watching on YouTube, please, like and share, smash the thumbs up button and blah, blah, all of that nonsense that people see on YouTube.
Or copy a link to the episode that you like and share it on your own social place, or as an email, or, QR code tattoo on your forearm. Whatever it takes, whatever you want to commit to, we appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd want to... if somebody has like a Stressless Camping episode QR code tattoo, I'm like, you might have taken it a little too far. But
hey,
you never know.
We're not ones to judge.
Yeah, that's true.
There's also a lot of information on our website, and it's free and easy to share. So if you see something and you want to post it in socials, you don't need our permission. You have our permission. Please share.
Yeah. Well, that's what we have for you this week as we step into a new year. There are exciting plans, including our journey across Route 66. We are going to be back in Quartzsite, as you may well know, and lots of fun stuff happening. So we appreciate you joining us, wherever you can. Thank you so much for being part of the Stressless Camping family, and most of all,
Stressless Camping.